All right. Peace and Black Power family. Everyone, make sure you turn your speakers down or there'll be feedback. And make sure you're muted, okay? Peace and Black Power family. It's your Harlem educator, author, and activist, the Black Liberation Community Organizing Coach, Brother IJ Taimba, representing Harlem Liberation School online family. You have no idea how often I pray and meditate over uh, this virus going away so that we can meet regularly face to face in a brick and mortar building. You have no idea. But in the meantime, we do, thanks to this technology, have the ability to uh, interface with each other virtually. First of all, let me ask those of you in the studio, do you hear any feedback? Okay, great. All right, well, family, today, very privileged to have with us a very special guest. Um, Outside of being the love of my life, she is a very creative and innovative, resourceful queen in the community, has a big heart, has much love for the family, and that includes not just her biological or nuclear family, but her extended family, even neighbors in the building and in the neighborhood. Always willing to help out, always asking people, "Are you all right? Is anything that I/we can do?" Very loving African type of spirit, and very grateful that she's in my life. And I'm grateful that hopefully through the establishment of her new organization, she will be in your lives, although obviously in a different capacity. I don't want to hurt nobody out there, you know. A little humor. But anyway, let us bring our sister on, and that is our sister Brenda Hilaire. Make sure you unmute yourself, okay?
Hello, 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 hello.
Hey, how you doing, sister?
I'm well, thank you.
You well?
Yes, thank
Very
you.
good.
And thank you for having me slash us on this show today, your platform. I appreciate you for this opportunity. We don't take it mildly. Anytime we have an opportunity to shine light on the work that we're trying to do for our community, we are grateful for it. And by we, I mean Sweet Transitions Incorporated, as we are a family. It is not me, it is a family of people, which includes you. And so we are grateful.
Okay, let's jump right into it, family. First question, my sister. We are in the month of March. March is known as Women's History Month. And I guess I want to know, are there any uh, black women in particular, historically or personally, that you want to acknowledge? You know, sisters that you believe help to edify and shape and guide you.
Yes. Oh, yeah, definitely. There are many historical women that I could shine a light on that we are all familiar with. Today, I want to bear witness to some people that we are not necessarily thinking of, and those are the women that women like our mothers and our aunties and our grandmothers, women like my mother who has transitioned this year, my aunt who transitioned a couple of weeks ago, our grandmothers, the women who are unseen but are the women who support us day in and day out, the real heroes, just as the women who are on the stages um, that move our that push us forward in our movements, the women that support us, that create our our movers and shakers, who create our leaders. So I want to bear witness to the heroes that don't get to stand behind the mics always. The women who send us to school, the women who feed us from the kitchen to the boardrooms, the women who are in our organizations who are supporting us, the unseen, often heroes that deserve to be recognized day in and day out. Don't forget them. So today I salute all of our sheroes who are unseen often, and I say thank you. And in terms of the historical figures, I'd like to bear witness to Madam C.J. Walker, who, like, who I believe we have some things in common. She, like myself, was really good at doing hair, and um, unlike myself, she became a very wealthy woman, right? And she was able to use her wealth to finance um, great movements to support a lot of organizations. She was homeless at one time, like myself, and her experiences with homelessness helped shape who she was and her consciousness and prompted her to become a great woman with respect not just to her corporate mind, but also her community mindset. So I want to salute her. And if you're not familiar with who she was, then you should do some study because we have a lot of great women that we stand on the shoulders of, and that's who I want to recognize today.
Well, we thank you for that, Sister Brenda. We want to welcome certainly everyone that's in our particular Zoom studio watching this live. We will have time for a Q&A when we're done. We want to thank you all. We got Brother Mark McPhee in the building. Some refer to him as the Godfather of Harlem. We have Sister Siobhan, and she's hailing, I believe, from Buffalo, New York, way upstate.
Yes. Hello.
And peace to our sister. Brother Gerald Rollins is in our studio as well.
Oh, I worked with
And
him.
we have quite a few people. We have Sister Jackie Soul Rebel Zephyr is watching live on Facebook. Brother Kenwado Moore representing the ATL, the Young Lions of ATL in the building.
Salute.
Uh, so we have quite a few soldiers with us. Let's get right back. I want to make sure that we keep the dynamism going. We have also Sister Janae, I believe, has just entered the studio with us. Let's go back to these questions. Now, you're the founder and the executive director of Sweet Transitions.
Mhm.
Tell us more about Sweet Transitions. What services does this nonprofit provide? What populations do you serve? And things of that nature.
Okay. Sweet Transitions Incorporated is an organization that serves people who are transitioning from homeless shelters, domestic violence shelters, people who someone is speaking. We need you to mute your mics, please. I'm sorry. Homeless shelters, domestic violence shelters, aging out of foster care, and leaving prisons or transitioning from prisons, provided they are non-violent offenders. So those are the populations that we service. Um, we service them by providing free home furnishing. So that's all the furniture. We will furnish up to 2 rooms in their homes being houses or apartments. And when I say we furnish them, we provide everything. The premise is that upon transitioning from these different agencies, so homeless shelters or prisons, the state and or city allots, I can hear your feedback, sorry.
Yeah, just
They
keep
give
talking.
them very little money. So what we do is we complete the projects by going in and polishing their homes by giving them a whole complete situation. So we give them bedding and all of the trimmings that they typically wouldn't have to give them a real home situation to encourage our people to keep pushing despite the hardships that they've experienced so that they know that they're valuable and they're treated as such. So that's primarily what we do. In addition to that, we will provide other social services or link them to social services, and we give them other necessary resources that they may need. For example, mental health services. and we will provide them food and connect them to other services that they might need.
Okay, now I know we have quite a few people watching live. We will have people who will watch it later. Make sure you turn your speakers down.
Please.
Um, and some of our people sometimes watch these shows, Sister Brenda, and they misconstrue the message. So some people might have heard that, and now they're on the phone saying, "Yo, we just got out the joint. We did a bid. The sister's gonna hook us up with a sofa and TVs and end tables, and she's gonna decorate the whole house." So just to make sure that people understand, could you repeat when you say help with the home decor for these different populations? What do you mean specifically? Like, is it every room in the house you're gonna
No.
fully furnish, or yes?
So again, it's two rooms, and there's a criteria for being a recipient of services, and we refer to the recipients as our neighbors. So they are not charity cases. These are people, our people, and we treat them as such. They receive two rooms, and you have to have been transition have been transitioned from these services or these agencies within an 18-month period. So if you've been out of the shelter for 13 years, please, you're not going to qualify. So don't call us because we can't help you. But if we can find someone that will, we will point you in that direction. 18 months, two rooms only. And we will provide everything that we can possibly give you that you might need. If there is something that we can't do for you, we will definitely try to assist with finding the resources that may facilitate the need that you have.
Excellent. So I hope that's clear for everyone. Hope everyone can hear me. Excellent. I hope that's clear to everyone, and I hope that everyone is clear on the actual services that Sweet Transitions provides. Now, I I'm very clear on what captivates people when they listen to interviews. What tends to connect with people is people's story. Who are they? What made them who they are? What compels them? What makes them tick? Right? What's your story, Sister Brenda? What would you say? Where did you come up? When did you come up? And what are the forces of the people that shaped the beautiful, lovely queen that is sitting before us today?
My story has a lot of twists and turns. I'm a Harlem-born woman, um, and you would need there's so many sequels to this story, so we're not even going to get into the full thing. But what I will say is, I'm born and raised in Harlem, and I'm really proud of that because it's a beautiful place geographically, but it's also rich in terms of the people and the experiences, the culture the organic culture that exists here. So I've seen a lot of things happen here. I've seen it when it was rich in terms of my elders and all of the lovely experiences of being nurtured by people who looked like me and who loved me and raised us. I lived, as I was telling you last night, we lived on the borderline. I literally lived on the borderline of great wealth and great poverty. So if I turned my head to the left, I could see great affluence. And if I turned my head to the right, I saw great poverty. And I mean on the same block, right? So on one side, looking towards Broadway, I saw drug dealing and cracks and police shaking my people down. And when I turned my head to the left, the police were passing out candy bars to the children and helping the old ladies across the street. And it was just unbelievable. But all of these stories add to mine. I saw people struggling, and I saw beautiful buildings that I studied and sketched, and buildings that fell into disrepair. And I'm talking about like brownstones that I thought were beautiful, and I wondered why they they being the powers that be didn't take care of these buildings. And I vowed that when I became an adult, that I would do something to restore these buildings. And then my focus turned from the architecture to the people, because my consciousness changed. I was artistically inclined, creatively inclined, but then I became aware of my people. That was more important to me than the structures. And so I wanted to fix my people because I didn't see anyone wanting to do anything to help them or us. So
Wait a minute, my
now,
sister. I have to interrupt you. I happen to know when you came up because you and I came up in the same exact place at the same exact time. What era in Harlem did you come up? It's very pivotal to understanding what shaped you. What era? What was going on in Harlem?
well, we're talking the 70s and 80s. So I'm born in the 60s, and I'm talking about Harlem in the 70s when we're talking the shift from opium to crack, right? And that era of the 80s was particularly devastating because that was the era when, it took so many valuable people away from us and so many valuable resources away from us. So we went from being a community of rich resources, community centers, right? Block parties where all of our aunties came out and cooked big meals and we could play on the block, to us having to stay in the house because now they're shooting on the block, or there are people addicted to drugs now taking over the block because they're trying to get their source. And so it was complete devastation. And I didn't understand it. I didn't understand what was going on. And at the same time, I'm seeing people who were age compatible on the come up materialistically, and none of it made sense. I just knew that the people that I had great respect for, the elders, the women that I watched, the women I celebrated, the women I studied, the women I wanted to be like, I modeled myself after, these elegant beings, a lot of them were now um, lost, lost, and I didn't understand it. And their children were lost, and our community suffered as a result. And I wanted to do something about it. And I'm not alone in that. There were many of us who suffered as a result and wanted to do something about it. And so fast forward, I'm working, and I was poor. We were poor as a child. Well, I was poor, period, because I didn't have any money like most of us. None of us were working, our parents were. But as I started to make money, and I worked what they considered good jobs, I made good money throughout my life. There came a point, I always gave back. I would collect some of the children and take them to museums and buy them clothes, and I would do their hair because, like Madam C.J. Walker, I was really good at it. So I always gave back in my own way. And if someone needed coats, I would buy coats or clothing. That was always my nature. So fast forward, I am now working transit, and I get ill. I'm going through a series of illnesses, and I don't know what's going on with my body. And I'm now fired from my job as a result. And I find myself in a homeless shelter, me and my daughter. And I'm treated like trash because because I don't fit what they consider to be the profile. I guess when you're homeless, you're supposed to look um, unkept, but we didn't. So my property was stolen from me, and a host of other things occurred when I was in that situation. And what came from that was the seeds for this organization. It prompted me to want to do something for someone else that I was sure was going through what I had gone through. And upon leaving that place, I'd lost everything. I'd lost everything that I'd owned, all of my furniture, everything I'd owned. And I had to start from scratch. So I assumed that there were other people who had come out of homeless shelters and other hardship situations, who needed help getting back on their feet. And fortunately, I have a skill set that I can kind of recreate things and restore things, and I can work and buy things. But there are people who don't have those abilities and they need help. And I want to be one of the people in our village who can do that, who will do that. So that is how Sweet Transitions came to be in
That's
terms of the
excellent.
concept.
That's excellent. You know what strikes me in hearing this story? Of course, I already know your story, but in hearing you recall the story, is that so many people in this society and unfortunately in our families and communities take the position that people in jail deserve to be there, that people that are homeless deserve to be on the street, people that's drug addicted, that's their problem. And here you come with a more empathetic, compassionate point of view that doesn't blame the victim, but instead seems to embrace them and say, you know, we all make mistakes, we all can fall from up high, and we all need help at some point. And that is what really impresses me as I listen to what you're saying. You know, it's very easy to judge people and be very cold and bitter about who deserves what. But I know coming up, and I'm not a Christian, but coming up in a Christian church, they would say, "There, but for the grace of God goes out," right? So that level of compassion. Make sure you turn your speaker down. But that level of compassion is um, very important in this type of work, in community work, because we come across people who don't have this education. They may be in the street. They may be selling drugs, whatever they're doing. And if we come at them in a judgmental way, we lose them. We can't make connections. So that's very impressive. I just wanted to say that. That's very impressive, and I salute you for having um, that type of spirit. Now, what strikes me is that Harlem in the '80s had a lot of ugliness, as you alluded to, and yet in that ugliness, you're able to see and to think about beauty. Could you explain that to us? Take us through what was going through your mind when you would look at these dilapidated buildings and the people that were once upright all bent over and crack vials all in the street. How were you able to see beauty in a scenario like that?
I always wondered what came before us. I love history, and so first of all, I was not like a lot like I am today. I was very different. I was an introvert, and people don't believe that because I'm an extrovert now. But then I would always kind of peel off and go um, to my escape place over to City College and lay on the lawn. And I think it's a beautiful place. But before I got there, I would look at all of these beautiful brownstones. And at that time, a lot of them were dilapidated. And I wondered who lived there, who lived there before us, what were they like? Um, I remember seeing dumbwaiters in these buildings, and I wondered what were they for, and what there. I just always wondered what came before us, who came before us, and how can we improve things? That's always been my thing. That's just how my mind works. How can I improve a situation? How can I make it better? How can I reinvent things? I can't explain that, but my mind deconstructs and reconstructs things all the time. So when I see something in disrepair, immediately I'm trying to fix it. And I was looking at the buildings and I was fixing it. So when I see people who appear to be broken mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally, my mind is wondering what can I do to help fix this situation? And I see it all the time. We can't fix everybody, but I do believe, and I don't know if I'm answering your question the way you want, but I do believe that we have a responsibility to see our people.
Okay, we're gonna remind people as you enter the show, make sure that you mute yourself because you can hear all the background. All right.
We have a responsibility to see our people, to pay attention to the people in the room and outside of the room. We don't get to just walk past our people. and we do it all the time. And if we are mindful that we are connected, and we move with intentionality, then I think we will really be in a better place. And you can call me corny or think that this is not a doable situation, but hi Denise. But know that this is very doable. I mean, it is simple. I put up a post yesterday about basically it's living with intention. It's how you adjust the lens and just see yourself differently. If you adjust your lens, you not only see yourself and your situation differently, your struggle becomes transition. You see the person on your block as your neighbor, right? It's really just changing your view and connecting to your people. So sweet transitions is not at all about going into people's homes and decorating rooms and providing furniture. That is the smallest part of the equation. The big picture is about connecting people. It's about improving lives. It's about taking responsibility and moving with intentionality to connect with our neighbors, our people, seeing our people as our own, and being responsible for making a vested interest in making sure everybody's okay. Like, I got a crust of bread. You hungry? Let's eat. Because I don't need to eat everything on the plate. And if my people are hungry, then I'm hungry too. And it's just like it's really it's a fundamental principle that I think we all learned back in the day. It's how our people used to live a long time ago. We're living in excess. We are. We don't share anymore. We don't care anymore. And if we can get back to that, I think we'll be okay. And we see it in other cultures daily. And that's why I think a lot of people are thriving and we aren't. And I don't want to get into the politics of it all because it's really it's very simple, and we overcomplicate things that are simple, and we simplify things that are a little more complicated, right? But in terms of this piece, I really just want people to pay attention to their people, to claim their people. And if you don't help us, help someone. And with that, I rest.
All right. We want to thank you for that eloquent response to the question. We also want to take a quick moment to recognize community members that are in the actual studio. We have Brother Mark McPhee in the building, Sister Siobhan, Brother Gerald. I think I see Sister Denise in the building. Peace to the sister. Thanks for joining us. We also have live on Facebook, I see Brother Conwardo. Oh, man. We have quite a few people. I'm kind of trying to do a million things at once, family. Please forgive me. Tim Miles, cousin Tim, is in the building. He says you look absolutely gorgeous. um, and there's quite a few people watching. I think Sister Gina Duran, a lot of people are watching. Very good. Thank you all for joining us. We are here with Sister Brenda Hilaire. She is the new executive director of the brand new nonprofit, Sweet Transitions. I noticed that you didn't spell it Sweet. Make sure you turn your speaker down, by the way. I noticed you didn't spell it Sweet, but you spelled it Suite. Could you explain that for
That's
people?
just a play on words. I didn't. Although it is a sweet transition, we are transitioning people's homes. So it's just a play on the word. That's all. We're
Okay.
going into people's suites, their apartments, their homes, and we're transitioning their homes. So, but we're making them sweet. Sweet. Hopefully.
How has this, as somebody that is, has been in several leadership positions over the course of my life, I understand that leadership is not easy. It is can be quite draining on one's time, their body, their spirit, their finances. Um, how has this experience been for you, starting the nonprofit up to this point?
Now that's the real question there. It is work. It is hard work. It is, I underestimate it. So for many years, I have been a supportive member of many movements, many organizations, many people in the things that they were doing. Um, um, and that was easy, right? It's easy to give money. It's easy to show up to a meeting. It's easy to cook meals. It's easy to buy clothes, da da da. But it is not easy being a leader. Leadership requires more. It requires everything you have and then some. It requires you to stretch and to grow. It requires excellence when you don't want to be, when you're not excellent. So, whereas I've always had leadership qualities, I've learned that I've not always been my best self, and I have to be. So, in order to lead your people, to lead an organization, to give your best, you have to be your best. You don't sleep much. All of my money goes into this. Like, I don't, I'm broke. I'm broke. And I don't mind. It's okay because it's worth it. Like, my everything in the forefront of my mind is this organization. And it's good. It's worth it because I'm thinking about other people on a different level. And I'm thinking about legacy. I'm thinking about when I leave, like there are going to be other people who will be good as a result of the work we're putting in today. This is not about me. It's bigger than us, right? And 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 it's worth it. So I'm learning that leadership requires sacrifice. It requires study. You got to get up to speed. I'm reading a lot more. I had gotten lazy intellectually, so it requires that I hit the books. And when I think I know, I realize I don't know a daggone thing. I need to know quadruple more. So I'm learning, and it requires just greater investment around the clock. Also, it requires that you have a strong team of great leaders. So if you don't have great leaders, you have to create leaders, and you have to recognize the leaders or the potential leaders in your team. You have to try to groom leadership. I'm blessed in that Sweet Transitions has a team of great leaders. Everyone on our board of directors are individually strong leaders. Everyone. And so we're coming with it. They're forcing me to be my best self, and it's a blessing. It really is. So I'm learning every day that there's more to be done. I need a lot of help, especially from the community. This is not mine, this is ours. And it starts here and it goes out.
Very, very good. I wanted to take a quick moment, if I could, family, while I have everybody watching. I want to take a quick moment while I have everyone watching, just to give you a few quick announcements. Just as we have our lovely sister Brenda Hilaire today, we have a full lineup this month. I can share one other event right now. I have three others that are pending that I'm waiting to hear on. But I had the fortune of going to college at Syracuse University about 100 years ago with a sister who has since become. I remember her as a sister. Every time I said we're doing this, she would go and she would leave early, go into Newhouse Public Communication School, editing video, writing her copy for the newspaper or whatever, and filming. Very hardworking, industrious. Knew she wanted to be a broadcast journalist when she was 11 years old, and she has since then grown into uh, a sister that I'm sure you all know by the name of Sister Cheryl Wills, New York One anchorwoman. She's going to be with us on the last Saturday, I believe, of this month, March 26th. She'll be with us from 3 to 4 p.m. Eastern. She'll just in the same platform as we have Sister Brenda today. She'll be on Zoom You have the meeting ID and the passcode. But just like today, it'll be broadcast live on my Facebook page. My Facebook page is public, so anyone that can get on it can see it. And she's going to be talking about. She has a lot of stuff going on.
Yes, she does.
She has a new book that's going to be groundbreaking on the role of black women in the development of and the reach and scope of gospel music. That is coming out in, I believe, May. And she's also doing a big thing in the South. She has done the family history of her father's side of family, and she's done a book on it. And they're gonna go. They found his where he's buried. Her third great grandfather who fought for the Union Army, right? And so it's a big story behind that. Oprah's involved. It was a lot of stuff going on with the sister. So she's going to be sharing all that with us. And we're also going to have all types of powerful sisters on. So just want to make sure that while I have you, you know some of the stuff that is going on. Back to our lovely sister, Brenda. A lot of times we do great work. When I say we, leaders, activists, community organizers, and we often complain that the community is not meeting us, that they're not supporting us in the ways that we need them to. What type of support does Sweet Transitions need from the community?
We need money. We need money. We need money. Honestly, we need monetary support. We need volunteerism. We need total support. So it takes money to provide the things that we need. So we're going to be reaching out to the government, of course, getting the grants from, we have politicians that are excited about what we're doing and have promised to give us money. And that's wonderful. But nobody is better to our people than our people. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, we should be the ones who take the responsibility to take care of our own. And so if one person donates $1 and they tell another person to donate $1 and it's consistent, we can get a lot of work done. Like for real, we can get a lot of work done. And I'm hoping that I mean, we would definitely accept more. $5 would do a lot more work. And we're hoping that people will commit and tell everybody they know about what we're doing. The other thing is we need people with skill sets like carpentry. If you know how to decorate, if you've gotten compliments, or you just have a desire to come and help, know how to hang a picture, hammer a nail, move some furniture around, you have strong arms, or you can do some staging. Come on, if you are interested in doing some upcycling, that would help. If you have gently used furniture, that will help. There are a myriad of ways that you can help us get this organization going. So we are hoping that you will reach out to us. Also, another there's feedback. I need you to mute your mic. Thank you. Another way that you can help is once we present our candidates to you, we will have, this will be a community housewarming of sorts. So our recipients, who we call our neighbors, will have the choice to say what they want in their homes. So they get to decide what store they choose their furniture and home furnishings from. So let's say they go to Home Goods and they select the items that they want from the registry. You can go to that registry and you can pay for the goods that they selected. So you can pay for those curtains, you can pay for the bed in the bag and any of the other items on that list. And you get to see where your money is going and be a part of the process. And it's even better that you become engaged in the process because you are now buying your neighbor a gift. You're no longer just putting money in the cup or just contributing to a charity case. You're actually buying a gift for your family member. And we prefer it that way. And we're going to be doing video records of these transactions so that you know what's going on and you get to see and become intimate with each person. The only people that may not be on camera are people who have been in domestic violence situations, because we have to keep um some anonymous, I can't get it out. We have to keep their situations private because safety is the issue. So if they want to be on camera, we will let them, but if they don't, we will not broadcast their situations. But we do want you to see the people that we're working with. We do want you to become familiar with their stories and who they are. And if you want to meet them and they want to meet you, we'll set it up where you can engage with them.
Excellent. Thank you for that. I'm going to share the screen. It's
Yes,
very
sir.
important that you all be able to get in contact with Sister Brenda or any of her board members. She has some really sharp brothers and sisters on that board. I got to tell you that. Sharp brothers and sisters. So I'm going to put on the screen uh, the website. Sister Brenda, is this correct? That's your domain?
Yes, sweet.inc.org. So that's SUTI, correction, SUITEINC.org.
So it's sweetteinc.org.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. .org.
And you
Correct.
type that, it'll take you right to the website. Are there
You
any
can also
things you want
Google
people to
us.
do when they get to that website, Sister Brenda?
Read through it. You can also sign up for volunteerism. You can donate. You can go to our PayPal account and make donations. You can contact us if you have any ideas that you think would be beneficial to our program. We are open to all input. Our telephone number is there. You can call us and leave any messages that you'd like, provided they're positive, and give us your ideas. We're open to that always.
Excellent. I'm just going to leave that up for a little while, Sister Brenda, as we talk to make sure people have a chance to copy it down and actually go visit it while we're on the live broadcast. I want to add that we also could use your creative equity. Some people may not, because of health issues, be able to come out to every event. Some people may not have a whole bunch of money, but you have great ideas. Could be as simple as you going to the website and in that comment section, if there's ideas, if there are people you know who can be resources to sweet transitions, you can type that in and share that information, right? Because the ancestors, the elders in antiquity from our motherland taught that all things are mental. So everything that you see physically came from an invisible idea. So the ideas, that mind power is important. If you can't give $1 and you can't get somewhere, you can still give us your ideas, and we would certainly appreciate that as well. I'm going to now get out of this sharing of the screen. I'm going to go back to Sister Brenda. And I do have another question for you, Sister Brenda. First of all, what is the change or the positive impact that you hope to see as a result of your organization's work in our community?
I'm hoping that, as I said before, that we will start to reassess how we see ourselves and each other, that we will start to make a vested interest in the care of our people, that we will start to just take the time to maybe save some of the things that we discard, take care of our things, take care of the people in our lives, and reinvest. Just, maybe knock on that elder's door and take them some groceries, escort them to the doctor's appointment. You know, we have we have an elder on our thread who indicated that he had an issue with his television. When we are aware that there is a problem, we don't just ignore that. Pay attention. There's no way someone lets us know that they have an issue and we just bypass it and keep it moving. Stop for a moment and say, okay, how can we help? That is important, everything. Because if there is something we can do and there is something we can do, let's do it. And if it's not something we can do as an individual, let's do it together. We can break it down into small parts and get it done. So, what I'm hoping to accomplish, with or without an organization, is that we will just take better care of our people and ourselves,
Okay.
really.
Very good. Um, Sister Brenda, before we go to a quick Q&A, are there any last points you want to make?
Yes. Hmm. There are there are good people out here working on our behalf to take care of us, to advance us politically and culturally. We have to pay attention to those people. We have to be able to discern the good from the people who really don't care about us. And when we can detect people who have our best interests at heart, we should support them. I'm not going to get into the politics of what's good and who's bad. I'm just going to remind us to please pay attention. We've been around long enough to know when someone really does care about us. And they're not always um, of other races. There are people who look like us who don't care about us. And when we are aware of that, turn the other way and start seeking out people who do and support them any way you can. I don't care who they are. And when we see people who need our help, please, 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 please do the best you can to offer a hand. And that's all I have to say.
Okay, before we go to the Q&A, let me also take a moment to share this with you as we speak about the issue of leadership. Just to let you all know that my fifth and latest book on leadership is out, is available at Amazon. And whereas my queen has graciously said she's not going to name names and beat up on the people, I will. That's what I do. So we need to know who's for us. We need to be able to determine who's not. We need to know the basics of how to lead, right? So all of that is in the book. Hope you would check it out. Now that we did that quick plug, I want to go to questions and answers. Sister Siobhan asked in the chat, she said, that's brilliant. So this is like mini housewarming parties.
Yes, exactly. That's exactly what it is. It's a housewarming. It's a community housewarming.
Any of you, any of you that are in this chat or watching on Facebook, if you have questions, please put them in the thread on Facebook or type them in the chat if you're here in the actual Zoom studio. If you have any questions, okay? And if not, we are going to get ready to close out. And again, we do want to thank all of you for joining us. You know, there's a lot of things that we do on Saturdays. We try to catch up the stuff we can't do during the week. Um, so Brother Mark McPhee has a comment. He says he ran a housing facility years ago in the Bronx and received subsidies from Shelter Plus Care and Department of Homeless Services. Have you, I guess, are you seeking funding from outside agencies or just those that are self-contained?
Currently, I've sought funding from our local politicians like the Manhattan Borough President's Office, um, the local council people, and some of our national corporations. So your Raymore Flanagan, we have um, what is it, Target, people who can source the goods that we need. So I'm waiting on some feedback. Other than that, it's private funding.
Excellent, excellent. Any other questions? Again, I think there's some people that are in the studio with us that are personal friends and sister. Sharice, any things you want to say? Words of encouragement, questions, anything? People here that I think have worked with Sister Brenda. Any words of encouragement, questions? Let me know in the chat. Or if you like to say it yourself, we can do that. Just raise your hand. Let me know. We'll put you so that people can hear what you have to say and you can ask it or say it directly. Anyone? Siobhan, I think. Hold on. Uh, Sister Siobhan, you have a question? Make sure
Cheryl,
you unmute.
Cheryl Rollins, that's no.
Okay.
Hi,
Oh,
Siobhan.
hello, sisters and brothers.
How are you?
Um, I got to tell you, I'm trying not to tear up here. I mentioned briefly to Sister Brenda, I ended up homeless because of domestic violence. And I was pretty young, pretty naive. You know, they helped me find an apartment. And I was like, great, this is beautiful. It was through Department of Social Services. And I'm signing the last papers. My daughter's in the stroller. She was like 7 months old. And one of the workers was like, well, how are you going to take care of baby? You don't have a stove. You don't have a refrigerator. And a whole new set of worries came in my head. I was like, are they like setting me up to call CPS and now say I can't take care of this child after all we've been through? So everyone I know, I'm in Buffalo, but you know, New York is New York is New York. Our people are our people. Our community is our community. Please give whatever you can. I think maybe people might underestimate it. Like, oh, that's cute. You're going to give them
Right,
a
right,
couch and a painting. That
right.
couch and
That's
that
right.
painting can be a whole game changer, someplace for a family to sit down together. So thank
Yes.
you and bless you and just brilliant, absolutely brilliant.
Thank you.
Um, I'll hit you up on the low because I'm also involved probably similarly with a program for energy efficiency that's across New York State. That might also be something that could be of value once people have been in their homes and gotten a little settled. So thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you.
Blessings and abundance and
Thank you so
woo. Let
much.
me turn off this camera. I'm tearing up again over here.
Thank you.
Oh. Thank you.
Thank you for everything, Sister Siobhan.
She also. Oh, we got Brother Mark. Hold on, Brother Mark. Why don't you unmute yourself and come on in, brother, with your comment or questions?
Yeah, I just want to say that all the good that you do will come back to you.
Thank you.
And I think it's so ironic that you mentioned our great esteemed ancestor, Madam C.J. Walker, because just this week I posted that her great great granddaughter has relaunched her hair care products with
Really?
Walmart, and it's very affordable at only $10.
Oh my
And
goodness.
so I did some work in the past, as I mentioned. I took women out of the St. James Women's Shelter and gave them housing.
Mhm.
But I would love to connect you with, I did work in the prison arena, and I got funding from North Star and also the New York Foundation. There was an Afrocentric brother by the name of Ryan Chandler. And not only did I get money from this brother, but he also provided technical assistance. Now, I know that it's kind of rough these days getting funding, but I at least want to put you in contact with those two organizations. And one of the great things is that when I was getting funding, because I funded my own physician, and I don't have knowledge as a grant writer, but as a recipient, as other people put in their requests for funding, I was allowed to sit in on the grant process and help in picking organizations that were eventually picked up for the grant awards. And I have told other organizations about these two organizations who funded my salary when I was a criminal justice advocate, but many of them not follow through. So my gift to you, my sister, is, and my obligation is to assist you, even if it's just to get you the information and get you through the door. And hopefully this brother is still there because he sat on the board of both of these organizations. So I will do what I can while I'm still here to put you in contact with these two organizations to help you with your organizations.
Thank
And
you.
we look forward to you on March 14th to come and tell us about sweet transitions. Because as I say about Brother Taimba and myself, we are interested in elevating our sisters so that they not only sit in the front, back of the room, but we want to see you elevate and go to the front of the room. And sister, we watch your elevation at Harlem Liberation School, how you ran the panel for our all women domestic violence program. And since that time, sister, you have been growing and making progress. So I wish you continued success, peace and love, and Black power.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Brother
Here we
Mark in the
go.
building. Now, don't you start crying up in here, sis. We ain't done yet, okay? We got a little bit more show before you can start crying. I'm just playing with you. I want to also say, I want to add on to Brother Mark. For those who've known Brenda for many years going back, you know that she's always had leadership potential, and she's always displayed it in different ways. It's just that, let's say, with the panel discussion Brother Mark referred to, we as a community got to see it, but she'd always been helping people out when they needed it, giving people advice when they needed it, actually decorating spots in people's apartments using stuff they already had and kind of recycling and repurposing it. So I'm a firm believer that these things don't just come out of a person. If you have that leadership stuff, it'll be in you when you were little. It's just that people may not recognize it as such, you know. But I just want to salute her for that. I'm adding on to Brother Mark what he said. But that stuff was always in Sister Brenda. It's just that at that point in her life, there were these different opportunities for it to show. And now that she started her nonprofit, you know, sky is the limit. I am with the executive director of Sweet Transitions. Very proud of our sister. And on a more personal note and a touching note, I know that your mother would be very proud. I know that your aunt Brenda, who recently passed, we went to her funeral and her celebration. Was very proud of you too, my sister. The ancestors are alive. We're not Europeans. We believe that matter is not created or destroyed. It just changes form. So they are still here in a different dimension, looking out over you, proud of you, and pushing you further. Don't you forget that either, okay?
Yeah.
Sister Denise in the building, do you have any words of encouragement to say to our sister? I see you over here smiling. You got any words you want to say to the sister? If so, unmute yourself and let's hear.
How are you? I'm a little under the weather right now, but I'm so proud, and I'm so tired. I had dialysis today, and I had some running around to do. So I'm not really myself, but I am very proud of her and the work that she's putting in.
Thank you, dear.
Yeah.
Thank you, Sister Denise, for
Thank
coming
you.
on.
Love you.
And we hope that the Most High blesses you, watches over you, and the ancestors hope you to heal completely, and that you are at your best. And thank you for coming on and
Yes, thank
experiencing this
you.
with us. We appreciate your presence, Appreciate that.
I want to thank everyone. Oh, I'm not muted. I want to thank everyone who took the time to come and join us today. This is I'm really grateful for anyone who can hear my voice, who shared their time with us, who wanted to know anything about this effort, who has donated time or money. Um, I'm just grateful, and on behalf of our people that we are trying to help, thank you. Um, I promise that I will give everything that I have in me to make this a success, that people will benefit from this. And I will make my mama proud. I will make our people proud. And I will make you proud. We will make us proud. And this is for us. Um, Thank you. I'm just going to say thank you. Thank you. Also, I saw a comment from Sister Siobhan, and that is a yes, Sister Siobhan. We do need storage space. That was one of the requests I made to one of the politicians. So that is definitely a must on our list because I cannot keep all this stuff in my house.
That's right. Again, if any of you watching, I don't care what city or state you live in, you have ideas, important gatekeepers or people that can help assist with sweet transitions, get in touch. We have the information there. I'll put it one more time to get to the website, sweettinc.org. Go there. There's a way you can get in touch from the website if you have ideas. Learn what they're about, what they're trying to do. I'm actually involved with the organization as well. I'm an advisor to the board and to the organization. Very proud to be a part of it. And family, we thank you for joining us. I just want to remind you, March 26th, we're going to have Sister Cheryl Wills, New York One anchorwoman, author, and a talk show host. We're also going to have Sister Crystal Denise. She runs an educational center for our babies in Mississippi, family. We
Yeah.
we we gonna cover the globe for Women's History Month. We're not just keeping it in New York. We got sisters that's doing it all over the globe. So we're going to Mississippi, and we're probably gonna have some revolutionary sisters on here that banging on all types of injustice and persecution as well. We gonna wait till we announce them. So just want to thank you all for coming out. Sister Brenda, thank you for having the wherewithal to start the organization. Brother Mark, we thank you for your ongoing community service. We thank everybody who joined us in the Zoom studio, and those of you who are watching on Facebook. I've been trying to kind of monitor the show and look at what's going on Facebook. You guys are keeping me busy. Thank you all for coming out. Sister Brenda,
Yes, spread the word, please. Join our Facebook page. Spread the word. Encourage people to share the information, to send in donations. Send that dollar in, please. And thank you.
that's
Thanks,
right.
Ajay.
That's right. And before we leave, family, remember, We are the original people of this entire universe. I don't care what you've been told. That is the truth. It is documented by all reputable scientists, all reputable anthropologists. That is a fact. We were not only the first, we are, as history records, amongst the greatest in terms of musicianship, in terms of literature, in terms of intellectual production, architecture, and we can go on, right? We don't have to go to outsiders for our knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. You can go right at home, just like in The Wizard of Oz. What the good witch tell Dorothy, who was lost? She said, "Hey, baby girl, you ain't gotta go chase no wonderful Wizard of Oz who's a fake. There's no place like home." That's the message. And when we get that, family, we gonna be free overnight. There's no place like home. Family, in the name of the ancestors, the Most High, and all that is good, black, and righteous, we thank you for joining us. Y'all have a beautiful weekend. Peace and black power. And we will see you in 2 more Saturdays. Peace.